Is this thing live? Let's see. I have no idea what's going on because I had some major technical issues. If anyone's there, then let me know if you can see or hear me. Hey guys. Hey Avatar Boy and Daksh. Hey Dakshan. How are you, man? Nice to have you here. Uh, Sorry I'm late. There was some problem. I just couldn't figure it out. So um, I'm a good 13 minutes late. So I'll try not to end too soon. But I do need to finish sooner than I did last time. I think last live was an hour and 41 minutes. So I think maybe an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes should be fine. We can chat and chill if you guys have the time, of course. But I need to try and cap that because as much fun as it is, we guys need to try and make sure that it doesn't last too long. Yeah, title being deep. In fact, I wanted to get into this because, in fact, since it's a lot more intimate today, in fact, I've deliberately not posted that I'm going live early because I was overwhelmed with the amount of people that were there the other time. But my title is deep because I've gotten a few comments over the past few years that have made me think about this. Uh, and there was a comment the other day that came on about the JD1. I reviewed the IEM JD1, and one guy commented saying, "I tried these out. They were not for me. I definitely didn't like them." So that's where I'm coming from about how do you quantify uh, sound? How do you quantify good sound? How do you guys at least understand what is good to you? Because I usually break it down for all you guys as to how it sounds and so on and so forth. But like I know what sounds good to me. If it makes me feel good, if I get goosebumps, if I really connect with my music or hear instruments that I haven't before, that's what is good to me. So I'd like to know how you guys manage or figure that out. Yeah, Dakshan, I think I'm going to do the 40 minutes, man. 45 minutes. 45 minutes is fine. We're at 2 minutes and 45 seconds now, so we've got another about 43 minutes to go. Last time was too long. I just had my wife just told me it went on for too long. So I have to control that a bit. But it's fun. I mean, I do enjoy connecting with you guys. In fact, I think I need to do more live sessions. These are fun to do. So yeah, I mean that's my question to you guys. If I'm just interested to know because I have had a lot of people who left comments. There are a lot of people who do get a little nasty at times, which is not the most polite way to deal with things. But I mean, everyone's got their own opinions. Um, yeah, Dakshan, that's true. But nerd talk is good, man. It's healing. At least it gives us better understanding of our hobby and the music we enjoy. Hi, Teddy. Welcome. I think I can manage this. When there are 5 or 6 people, it's fine. Last time, I think at any given point there were, I think, about 25 or 30 people, which was too much for me. I can't. I don't know if I can handle that much. It's like a chocolate, but you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I suppose so. Yeah, it's a matter of taste. Yeah, I suppose when it comes to a lot of people. Uh, in fact, I've dealt with it in a weird way because I remember when I first started my channel. Uh, I wasn't too happy with a lot of negative comments. I was a bit overwhelmed with negative comments. Not that there were many, but there were enough, to get to me. So a lot of people don't get us. I'd say a lot of people don't get the passion we have for music and audio in general, be it audio equipment or certain songs that speak to us. So um, I suppose it's bound to vary between multiple individuals. But again, you don't have to be a dick about it, man. A lot of people leave such nasty comments. In fact, I used to get very riled up before, but not anymore. I've kind of moved past that. Hi Vignesh. Avatar boy, I've not tried out the XM5s yet. In fact, I've to be honest, I've met with some of the Sony people. I've asked them about the XM5s. I have also asked them for a review unit. I have wanted to compare them with my XM5s. Oh no, that's not the XM5. My XM5s are over there. But I wanted to do a comparison as well as an independent, in-depth review of the XM5. But Sony, man, I've been trying to connect with them for the last 4 years, 3.5 years, maybe 3 years, maybe not four, because the channel is just over 4 years. But I've been reaching out to them. I've been emailing them. Sometimes I get a little taste of, the first time I got in touch with them, they said, okay, you can review our products. You go to our Sony showroom, you do what you want. And I don't know if you guys saw, but I did get my hands on the C500 and something else, XM4 TWS. And uh, I carried a whole bunch of lights. I carried my camera. I said, it'll be fun. It's my foot in the door. They'll get in touch with me. I did those videos and they didn't bother even after that. So, I mean, I've tried getting in touch with Sony, and they'll send me stuff when they send me stuff. So I haven't reviewed the XM4s, and sadly, I haven't even heard them. I haven't spent any time with the XM5s. I haven't heard the XM5s. Dakshan, this comment of yours about being the best at ANC, I got a comment the other day from an individual who may or may not have been from India. I'm not sure, but he claims to have had the XM4 headphones, bought the XM5 as well, and then he's saying that he bought the what is this? He bought the the JBL. I don't know what that was. He said he bought the JBL 201 M2 that I reviewed recently, and he said that that one's active noise cancelling apparently is at par or slightly better than the XM5. Now, this is somebody who commented. I haven't tested it myself, but it's interesting that he'd even say something like that after owning the XM5. So who knows? Again, it's a matter of preference. It's individual opinions, so you never know. JBL 230 NC also great TWS. You know what? I did like it. I still do. When it originally came out, I quite liked it because I compared it with the Nothing in year one that I had at the time. It did it did hold up pretty well. But to be honest, I've had a lot of comments about the JBL 230 NC, about after sales issues. One bud stops working, so they take it to the service center, they clean out the points in the case on the earphone, put it back, it works. And then they eventually keep going back 2 or 3 times until eventually they get a replacement for the 230 NC again, and each time they have the same problem. And then they get an upgrade to the tune beam where they pay a little extra, and then the tune beam works fine for a little while. But there have been some people who've had the same issue with the tune beam as well. So that's one thing to keep in mind about the 230 NC. As much as I did like it, it does bother me that it didn't work out for a lot of people. So I can't wholeheartedly sort of uh, recommend the 230 NC 100%. Okay, sorry, moving on. Dakshan, do budget earbuds like Realme Buds 5 Pro have ANC good enough to block background sounds like horrible gym music and the train on road sounds? Dakshan, if you read about anything ANC, the whole point of active noise cancelling when Bose originally came up with it in the late 90s, or was it early 90s? I'm not too sure. Again, if I'm wrong, feel free to point it out and teach me what's right. But when Bose first came out with the aviator headphones and the aviation headphones, and they came out with the QC series, the whole point of ANC is much the same. It listens for a droning sound, finds that droning sound, and plays an opposing frequency. So because of that, it cancels the that noise out. Which is why ANC is more for droning noises. So if someone's talking to you, ANC is not going to be able to catch every single wave. Likewise, if there's music playing in the gym, or if there's constant honking, new fresh horns, if somebody holds on, it might isolate that because it's had time to sort of make the opposing frequency. But don't expect it to really isolate or noise cancel the music, because it's not ANC is not built to do that. More than ANC, what will help is isolation. So if you have a good ear seal for sounds that vary like music, isolation is the best thing you can have. In fact, the best isolation I've ever heard on any earphones was on a set of sleep earphones I tested last year. They were from Soundcore. They were called the Sleep A10, and the ear tip normally is just one sleeve where it clicks and then it has that single silicon sleeve. This had a dual layer of that silicon sleeve, so because of that dual layer it works as an extra damping sort of film. So because of that, its passive isolation was actually the best I've heard on most earphones, and they were for sleep, so it was pretty damn good. So I hope that answers your question, Dakshan. Hi Spam Me, nice to see you back. I'm doing fine, how are you? Ahmad, you can use the 770 NC, whether it's the live or the tune. I do have a review on it that went up on Friday, I think. They're nice sets of headphones, but headphones are usually not IP rated like TWS earphones, so it's worthwhile. After your gym use, just wipe it down with your towel. Just make sure it's clean. There's no sweat on it, because the sweat can really eat into the ear pads, and if it gets into anything mechanical, you're going to have problems with salt eating into everything. So you can use the headphones, but don't get them too wet, and wipe them down after your workout. Hi, Vishnu. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think I'm with you on that. Critical listening is difficult. You need a lot of concentration. In fact, a lot of people who talk to me ask me about what do I use to move around. In fact, let me show you. I use these Simgot EA 1000s. This beautiful little. Um, why is it not focusing on this? Anyway, these are my SimGot IEMs. If you've not seen my review on it, it's a beautiful set. This is the iFi Go link I pair it with, and the SimGot EA 1000. Beautiful set of in-ear monitors. I use them when I have the time, if I'm at home or if I'm on the move. Sometimes I use them. As clean and crisp as they sound, there's no point taking it out, because you can't critically listen to it. You can't really appreciate all the finer details, the fingers over the strings, the moving, certain breaths in vocals, and huskiness in vocals, and a lot of emotion gets lost, because the minute you add an exterior element of noise, of sound, like Dakshan mentioned about music in the gym, uh, that is a distraction to your focus and concentration. So you can't be a critical listener all of the time. Um, and I I don't like using that word, critical listening, in fact, because it kind of, there's a bit of snobbery behind that phrase, critical listening. I'm not listening to be critical of the music I'm listening to. I'd rather call it active listening, because there are times when I like to sit and listen to my stereo setup and just actively listen. It's not like I'm doing chores around the house. I'll get my glass of apple juice, and I'll listen to my music sometimes over hours on end, and I'm actively listening to appreciate the music. I'm not critically listening to say, hey, listen, this is wrong and that is wrong. So but what you're saying, Vishnu, is pretty much that. Yeah, it's you're pretty spot on about the critical thing. It is a difficult thing to do. In fact, whenever I have to sit and do any reviews and actually listen, that I'd say is critical listening to a certain extent, because I'm looking for the flaws in certain equipment. I'm looking at what it can't do and what it can do. So in that kind of situation, it takes a lot of effort. It takes a lot of energy out of you, because you're focusing on something so sort of hard in particular. So anyway, I'll move on. Teddy, SimGot EW 200 versus Zero Red. Man, I have not tested the Zero Red yet, but I love the EW 200. In fact, there aren't many earphones that point me in a direction towards music, but the EW 200, if you watch my review, if I'm not mistaken, every track that it took pointed me towards in the highs, mids, and low frequencies, the music that I always mention, it was somehow always very classical music or very operatic, because it was so good with the detail. And by so good at the detail, I don't mean, oh, it was very sharp in the detail. No, it was musical in its overall approach. It was soft and supple, and it was It was a very enjoyable experience with the EW200. I genuinely enjoyed those earphones, those IEMs. So I can't speak for the Zero Red. I don't want to give you any wrong information, but maybe some of the guys here have the Zero Red and the SimGot EW200. So guys, if you can help out Teddy's wondering if he should pick up, or he's considering the EW200 and the Zero Red. So if anyone can help him, Dakshan, feel free to help out Teddy. Avatar Boy, do I still recommend the Truthia Hola? I do, but it's not available anymore. As far as I know, it's out of stock, at least on Headphone Zone. I met the guys at Headphone Zone. Yeah, I still have these. In fact, my wife again, there's focused. My wife was using this for the longest time. She really liked them, and you know what I really like about the Hola, which I don't think I mentioned in my review, is if you look at the Hola, notice how the ear tip isn't too far out of the body. So it's not far extended where you have to really push it into your ear. It kind of sits just at the ear canal opening. So it's very comfortable. I still recommend this because they were enjoyable. The mic is great, the comfort is great, but I think it's gone out of stock. When I asked some of the guys at Headphone Zone at the Headphone Connect event, um, they did mention that they're not getting more stock because it's gone out of stock, for one. And two is Truthia is most likely launching a refresh for the Hola. So they might call it the Hola 2, they might call it something else. We don't know yet, but expect something this year. Spam me. Oh, hi. Nice that you're doing fine, Spam. Dakshan. Best wired headphones around 15K. Watching movies and music. Ramesh. 15K is a very good price, and I would recommend those. But the Pro version. In fact, I don't know how I can add it to my. Damn. I don't know. I'm still learning YouTube Live. But check out my review, Ramesh, on the Bear Dynamic DT990 Pro. And now I'm not just saying it because I've got an affiliate link over there from Headphone Zone, but that would help the channel if you do buy from there. But check out my review on the DT990 Pro. It is a timeless set of headphones. The Bear Dynamic made the DT990 and the 990 Pro in the 80s. I'm talking about 82, 85. The same model still exists today and is being manufactured even today. For 15 grand, you can get a beautiful set of these headphones. And the beauty of it is, I've spoken to the guys at Bear Dynamic. Um, if you lose a screw, if one driver packs up, if a headband breaks, if one pad is packed up and not the other, I'm talking about individual parts. If you have individual specific part problems, they will give it to you because they have it. They can replace it for you at a cost, of course, if it's out of warranty. But just to give you an example, these headphones here, Bear Dynamics DT990s, started my audiophile journey in the headphone arena. I was always into high res audio, records, tapes with speakers. But the Bear Dynamic DT990 started my audiophile journey, and I've had that since 2014. That headphone is 10 years old and it's going strong. I've never had a problem. And even when I asked Bear Dynamic, they said, "Sir, if one driver is damaged, we'll change it for you." But I said, "But what if the balance is off? What if the tuning is so different that I want both drivers changed?" He said, "You want both drivers changed? We'll change both for you. It's not a problem." So that kind of after sales really gives me confidence in really recommending Bear Dynamic. So Ramesh, check out my review on the DT9 90 Pro. And if you can stretch a little bit, if you want close backs, check out my review on the 700 Pro X. They've come out with a newer version, or should I say updates of this older generation without discontinuing them. So there's a close back version and an open back version. I will strongly recommend the open back because your stage is much wider, it's more immersive, and honestly, once you go open back, you find it very difficult to go back to close back. So I only use close back headphones when I'm traveling, or quite literally when I'm reviewing them, or weeks before I have to do a long-term report. But for music enjoyment, movies, games, open back is the way to go. So check out some of my reviews over there. And I have just discovered why I lag, because I talk for too long and I miss a lot of questions. I'm so sorry. Best wide. Okay. What's the difference between Bose and JBL sound signature? Which is better? Mr. Rock, I won't say either one is better or worse. Nobody makes bad products anymore, but Bose and JBL do have their own kind of tuning. I think the latest Bose equipment is tuned to be a little more excitable. It's a little more sort of emphatic and a little more punchy when it comes to certain details and frequencies, whereas JBL has surprisingly gone on a softer level. The Tour 1 M2s that I've got behind me are beautiful sounding. They're much softer in their delivery. And by that, I don't mean soft in volume. I mean confident, but sort of forward enough to give you a lot of detail and really enjoy your music. So JBL is different, no doubt. And so is Bose, but I haven't done any back-to-back testing with Bose's latest stuff and JBL's latest. So I wouldn't know any back-to-back stuff. Hi, Cherian. They've increased the price of the HD 600. I don't know what is it going for now. I've not checked. Is JBL going to release any budget over your earphones? Any? You mean over your headphones? Ahmad, I think the most affordable one they have is the Tune 770. I think it's going for about 5,999 right now. Again, check out my reviews. All I go into a lot of detail comparisons, in-depth reviews, affiliate links. Affiliate links help the channel keep going, guys. So if you do plan on buying, then you can use that. You don't have to, but feel free to use it. You want to look at the Bose SoundLink Flex or the Flip 6? Okay, I have not heard either, so I don't want to give you any wrong information, man. Like both are enjoyable, but I do think that these should be. I have seen some demo samples at Chroma. JBL does have a whole bunch of speakers I've seen at Chroma, so maybe you can listen to it there. Bose, try a Reliance Digital or a Bose showroom if you can listen to them. But listen to it before you decide if you can, because even don't take my opinion for stuff when it comes to sound. If you get a chance to listen to something, your ears are your ears, and your ears trump everything else. So try and see if you can listen to it yourself. Do you find Dolby Atmos on Apple Music appreciable or on wired IEMs? I find it muffled and soulless most of the time. Cherian, I am with you, man. In fact, when it comes to anything spatial audio, I am dead against it. The only good spatial audio or Atmos that I've heard is if you have a proper surround system with 7.1, 9.1, 7.2, 9.2, you name it, and you have dedicated Atmos speakers. I mean, even the top firing speakers that I've heard with clips, I've not liked the reflected sound. Direct sound with independent speakers is the way to go. Uh, a wireless earphone trying to emulate Atmos and spatial is just not it. It's not having it. The only set of headphones that I've heard that can do spatial audio well is the Yamaha L700A. Is it the Yamaha L700? Let me just confirm that. I did spend some time with the L700 a few times, maybe last year, and I did spend time with the guys at the Yamaha office. And the L700A is the only proper set of headphones I've heard that does surround sound well. And speaking about surround sound, man, I heard one of their YSP speakers for a sound bar to be able to sound the way it does. And I'm not talking about a sound bar sounding big and whatever. No, I'm talking about surround sound from one point source. I was hearing things from higher up from the ceiling. I was hearing things from behind me to the side of the walls. I really hope that Yamaha brings that speaker back. They did discontinue it a few years ago, but there are some whispers that they might be coming up with a newer version of it. So let's hope that happens soon. Gaurav, hi. Hi, Paul. Which one is better, JBL Wave Buds or Tozo A1 Mini? I have not tested the A1 Mini. What is the A1 Mini? Tozo A1 Mini. I have not tested these. I won't be able to really. I don't want to give you wrong information. But Wave Buds are nice, and I've tested the Tozo T10. The Tozo T10s are very nice. And I'd say both are similar, but I like the Tozo T10 because it was a little warmer sounding than the JBL, so I did like it. They've launched the Hola 2, Dakshan. When? Who? How? Hola 2. I have to catch up with your comments. Where's? Oh yeah, 2 days ago. But I don't think it's available in India yet, right? Okay, see, learning all the time, man. Thanks for that. I'll start hounding the guys at Headphone Zone for a review set soon. They're calling two-tier gear. Why AirPods Pro are so good? Aniket, AirPods Pro. Honestly, I'm not a fan of AirPods Pros. I'm not a fan of AirPods. They're okay. There's a lot of hype behind it. In fact, every sort of aunt and her uncle will be on YouTube saying the new AirPod killer or the new wireless king trumps the AirPod. It's just, I think it's just become gone to a point where it's considered to be the best when it isn't really. IEMs do carry a lot more detail. It depends on your preference. If you have budget for AirPods, great. If you have an iOS device or iPad OS or Mac OS, great. It'll work. I would recommend that to people who have Apple devices. And the list is endless. There are many reasons why you can go with it. But is it the best sounding to me? No, personally, it is not. It might be to you. So I personally am not a big fan of the AirPods. I like what Apple does when it comes to their Macintosh OS. And the one speaker that sounded really beautiful from them was the iPod Hi-Fi that came out many years ago. It was genuinely a very beautiful sounding speaker, and I think it was only available for maybe 9 months, 10 months, and they discontinued it. It was years ago, early or mid 2000s. Any TWS that I think is better than AirPods Pro? Yamaha TW E7B. Definitely. It's more musical, it's more detailed, it carries a lot more emotion. It's not about heaviness and bass and loudness. For me, it's the E7B any day. It's one of the best sounding I've heard. What's my opinion about DSEE on CH520? I've not heard the CH520, but I've seen what DSEE does on my XM4s that I own. DSEE is for an upscaling sort of application or algorithm, whatever they use, it works pretty well. It is a noticeable difference when you're sitting and really focusing on what you're listening to. But if you're traveling and there's noise, if you do want a little more detail, it's fine. But chances are you're going to miss a lot of the detail once there's noise around you, especially if you're on an aircraft and there's that droning noise. Gaurav, no, if primary requirement for listening good music is good source for songs, source for lossless music as a popular streaming platform. Gaurav, that's a good question. I used to buy my stuff from hdtracks.com. Now, hdtracks is expensive. It costs as much as buying a CD. It depends on the quality you want. You get 192 24s there, but I still believe that having a file, an HD file, like say if you buy it from HD Tracks, I do believe that it will sound better than streaming softwares, because I've noticed that Apple tends to buffer. There was a time when I was listening to my music on these HD 800s. These are very transparent headphones, and I remember listening to the music on these, and suddenly things just seemed like it lost dimension, it lost character, it lost detail. And then I realized that what Apple does is it buffers. So if by chance your internet is fluctuating, I was on Wi-Fi and I was connected to, well, another Wi-Fi router that was further away. It gets to a point and it keeps playing, and then when it reaches that point, your full high res, that's, let's say, streaming at over 1.4 mbps, suddenly drops down to 250 kbps, and you can hear that on headphones like this, on like the HD 800. And that's when I realized that I still prefer I use my portable music player still, or I have a hard drive that I plug into my computer and play through my LS50 sometimes, because having a solid file is, well, it's not going to buffer for one. So see if you can buy stuff, and nothing like having physical media, records, tapes, CDs, SACDs, all these things make a lot more sense. Say, like what happened to Sony. Sony a few months ago decided to close up shop with a lot of stuff. People had bought movies, games, and they just serials, and they just shut shop abroad with this. And if you paid for it, it was gone. You didn't own it because it was a digital copy. So there's nothing like having your own physical copy, man. I myself have started buying a lot more Blu-rays and SACDs and CDs. Cool. I need to catch up, guys. Sorry. Download flag files. Yeah, Dakshan, spot on. I'm with you there, man. Thank you for the suggestion. Yep, Ramesh, no problem. Gaurav, any suggestion? Where to download flag files, Dakshan? Try HG tracks or wherever else. 40 minutes. Yeah, it's already 30 minutes. Cherry, and I find most Bluetooth headphones below 4K are just absolute hot garbage. Cherian, those aren't the words I'd use on a public platform myself, but yeah, I'm with you. uh, can you review Soundcore Q20i? Ahmad, I think I've tried the Q10, or was it the Q20? A friend of mine had these, and I was surprised with how good they sounded. So Soundcore is doing some good stuff. I've spoken to them briefly, but again, I haven't heard back from them. So I'm not constantly pursuing people who don't want to come back. Um, Vishnu. Vishnu, hi. Hibi Music rocks. Proper DAC compatibility, bypassing phone architecture has made my small setup go all the way up. Good. Thanks for this suggestion. Yes, it is free. Hibi Music is pretty cool, and that what really impressed me was its parametric EQ as well, because it's very basically laid out. It's not, like where did I first see the parametric on some earphones? Nothing here too has a parametric EQ, and it's cool, but it's kind of small and difficult to use, even if you've got a larger phone. But Hibi gives you so much control over the parametric EQ. It's quite cool. So I'm glad it helped you, Vishnu. Happy music listening, man. All the best to you. The new Sonos 300 speakers seem to do Atmos well with single unit, much better than two. Yeah, Cherry, and Sonos has been doing good stuff for a while. But if you ever get a chance to listen to a Yamaha YSP, I think it was the 5000. That's the way it should be done, man. I heard a unit. They've got about 43 or 46 drivers, and some of them are upward firing. You can get a separate sub, but Yamaha hasn't worked with tech as much as they have with physics. Um, they play a lot with phase. So because of that, you hear delays in the music. By delay, I mean that delay in its presentation is what throws the sound in different places. So in fact, in between, I did say I want to listen to music, and this guy at Yamaha was like, no, it's not great for music. I said, I want to listen to music. And the way it plays itself, it's almost like you're sitting in front of, well, not that I've sat in front of IRS 5s, but it sounded like the speakers were from floor to ceiling. And it does a very good job of casting sound from further away. Now, no doubt you might have to have sort of a hard surface mounted behind you, because that beam throwing tech that it uses, or should I say the out of phase signal it sends, needs to bounce off a hard surface. Oh, I've just lost a light. So it needs to sign that we need to end soon. So that did work very well. So if ever you can meet the guys at Yamaha, go to their office. They're in Gurgaon. I'm sure they'd be happy if you go on appointment, if they're open to it, and check out some of this stuff. There's very good stuff. Luke Tube, hi. I mentioned a soundbar. Yeah, I was talking about the Yamaha, but the Yamaha is not on sale right now. The Yamaha is going to. Oh, there are whispers that there might be a refresh, but again, you never know with Yamaha. They're very secretive. Budget TWS around 2 to 3K. Hi, Sahaj. I hope I'm not butchering your name, but budget TWS around 2 to 3K. I would highly recommend the Oppo Enco Air 2 Pro. Good sounding, good build. My set is still 2 years old. It's still running well. I used it for a comparison against the Oppo Enco A3 Pro, and I still like how it sounds. And surprisingly, its call quality is better than the Air 3 Pro, despite the Air 3 Pro being more expensive. But check out my comparison, Sahaj, if you haven't already. I go into a lot of detail comparing these two, and that goes, I think, for about 3,100 rupees. So you can try that out. Do a review on the Anchor Q20. I'll try. I'll get in touch with them and see if I can get a review unit, because buying these things sort of adds up into my home, and my wife might kick me out if I get any more audio gear. Sarvesh, hi Paul. I've recently entered the world of IEMs, and I'm really thankful. Okay, one doubt I had is I have seen a lot of videos where it said that audiophiles hate equalizers. Why is it so? Um, Good question. Very good question, Sarvesh. And let me just see. Has Dakshan has replied? Thanks, Dakshan. Man, I can always count on you. Yeah. We need to do a podcast together, Dakshan. Yeah, hit me up sometime. Let's figure out a podcast where we can talk about audio. Uh, I'll get back to you, Sarvesh. I'll just yeah. Let me just tell you now. So, I myself, honestly, as an audiophile, I do like listening to it as it is. Okay. If I've got a good recording, if I've got a good mix, I want to listen to it the way it is. Now, the thing is, everything has color. If you're playing on a tape compared to a CD, the tape head may have worn out, the actual tape may have worn out over time. And then over and above that, what kind of amp are you using? What speakers are you using? Speakers have different colorations. Nothing is absolutely flat. I mean, some monitors, speaker monitors are, but I do use an EQ, and I do use an EQ when I'm listening to audio that doesn't have the kick where I like a kick. So a lot of people like kick in the bass, so they'll okay, tweak the bass. No harm, no foul. It's all about you enjoying it, right? So you increase the volume, no problem. But there are absolute purists who say, "Oh no, there's this is a snobbery that comes with it." So I suppose there is a lot of snobbery in the audiophile hobby. But what I'm saying is, man, it doesn't matter if you use an EQ as long as you're happy, because if you are listening to the music, you're not listening to it to impress somebody else. You're listening to it for it to speak to you, for it to make you feel better, for you to forget about your worries, man. So you want to use an EQ, use an EQ. Don't let anybody tell you anything else. Do it if you want to. Nice question though, Sarvesh. A lot of people do talk about this. Guys, I should technically end in 3 minutes. The main advantage of the Apple AirPods is small size integration to the Apple ecosystem, amazing transparency mode, however, which have better sound. Yes, Spammy is that's spot on. Man, I need to learn how to summarize stuff, because Spammy just summarized what I said very well. Mad audiophiles hate EQ. Yes, they want to listen to the natural sound, I suppose. Am I a sound engineer? That's a good question. Well, I did do a bit of it when I was younger. I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give up too much information, man. Uh, I'm as long as it comes across that I love music and I love what I do. I love audio equipment. I've always been exposed to good audio. My dad kind of is to blame for that. He's always had good speakers in the house. So much so, when I was a kid, if ever we went to somebody else's house and it didn't sound right, I'd go to him and say, "Listen, there's something wrong with the speakers." Until he told me, "Hey, listen, relax. You're not supposed to talk like this." So we talk about it when we're at home. So my ear kind of got tuned to good sound. So I listen to a lot of good music, classical music, uh, genuinely good bands and so on, from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, growing up. And when you listen to that, you know what natural music is. Nothing was electronic back then. So it's because of that I still love music, and I do love a certain kind of music. So even the newer stuff that's out there, there's a lot of electronic stuff, but a lot of it feels like it doesn't have the emotion that I'm looking for. In fact, I saw a video about, I think it's on Netflix. Billie Eilish was talking about how she comps her audio tracks. So she does about 80 odd takes, and then she cuts one word or one phrase or two words from each take and comps it together. So you have multiple cuts in the same audio track. And to me, I see that visually as being a disconnect, but also when I hear it, I don't feel a connect. If it's If it's smooth going, like one take, if you, oh man, you need to listen to some of Aretha Franklin's work. She does one take and she's done, because she knows how much she's investing in that one take. There's no need to do so many. So again, it's a matter of opinion, man. I don't want to sort of rub anyone up the wrong way, but again, to each his own. Vishnu Das, using the para EQ, that's good, man. That's good. Ramesh, other than the DT990, can you suggest one more headphone with two-sided cable? Oh, two-sided cable, Ramesh. I am not too sure about a two-sided. I think a lot of people, ATH M50X, I think, is also one-sided. Uh, the only ones that I've used that are two-sided are my HT700s and HT800s, but that's way out of your budget. But two-sided, I don't know, man. I'm stumped. Dakshan, do you know any headphones that are two-sided? Ramesh is looking for something like that. He wants something with two-sided cables. Bear Dynamic does not make that. Spam me up. That's OpenEnco Air 2 Pro. Same thing, man. It's great. Revant, Salnote Zero versus Blonde. Oh man, that's a good one. I tested the first Salnote Zero, but they didn't impress me too much. I mean, enjoyable, nice, typical stuff, but they're all just different flavors in this price range. The blonde is very warm sounding. I did like how the blonde sounds. It's kind of very tape esque. It just takes me back to how older tape decks used to sound. I do like the blonde, but I have heard some people have had cable issues. So if you do have a cable issue, you might have to swap it out for another one. So that's something to remember. Yeah, Vishnu, the EQ does have a lot of that stuff. It's cool because even like what Vishnu is saying right now about the Hibi music app, with this cool the cool and warm and whatever other terminologies it has, you can learn a lot about how audio should sound and how to characterize it. So it's worthwhile trying out this app, guys, if you haven't. It's called Hibi. It's free. Is Truthia Gate the next Truthia Hola? Let me just check, because somebody has posted something about, yeah, somebody said Truthia Hola 2 on YouTube, and in sort of brackets Gate. So maybe it is the next one. I don't know. I don't have any official information, so I don't want to give you any wrong information. Yeah, Dakshan, you've already looked after A1. Thanks for that, man. Sanjoy, how good is final E1000 sound in 2K? Sanjoy, I think I've reviewed the E1000. You can check out my review on that. It's in my audiophile playlist. Uh, those little bullet IEMs, check it out if you haven't already. Hitchhiker, any idea when next version of Oppo Enco Air will release? No idea, because even the Oppo Enco A3 was delayed by over a year. Uh, so I really don't know if they or when there will be another one. Hey, Sarvesh, no problem. Yeah, Vishnu, not using an EQ. What you're saying, not using an EQ is trusting the artist and engineers. Yeah, to an extent, but the artist and engineer is tuning it to within a studio that's properly tuned. Man, studios where they mix and master these things are completely sort of soundproofed. You don't have any echo. It's a dead room. So they can hear every single element coming from the speaker, which is correct. Yes, you're not wrong. But at the same time, I sometimes use EQ as room correction, because if I'm sitting in a room that has no acoustic panels, that has hardly any furniture, and there's just heavy boom, the that same mix is going to sound awful to me. So I just tune down the lower frequencies to help avoid that boom, because that boom eats again into details and mid-range and high frequencies. So you tuning down that EQ on that section makes it that much more enjoyable. So an EQ, I'd say, should never be discarded. If in fact, if I've a lot of people have started looking for the old EQs where you have EQ control for both channels that existed in the 80s, and for some reason it just died out. So I hope EQs make a comeback because there's a lot that you can benefit from with EQs. Cherian, thanks for the suggestion. Hi-Fi and Sandara are two-sided. I think somebody, was that Ramesh who was asking? I hope that helps. Cherian, do you have the Hi-Fi and Sandaras? I've been wanting to review Hi-Fi Man also. In fact, I plan on doing a lot more audiophile stuff going forward. I'll try that. The only thing that IEMs. Sandaras are 25. Ah, my budget is 15. Okay, that's the problem. Headphones are too expensive. Yeah, they can be. Hi, Suraj. I have not heard the HD25. Are you asking me that? I didn't even know there was an HD25. Let me just check. Sennheiser HD25. I have not heard the HD25. No. I've seen it though, but I've not heard it. Which genres of music do I like? Well, if you've seen any of my reviews, I usually focus on a lot of soft rock and jazz, blues, some classical stuff. It depends on my mood, really. I don't specifically listen to Bollywood because uh, I'm I'm trying to expand into Bollywood also and different genres of music as well because I found myself kind of stuck with what I'm listening to. So if you guys have any recommendations, please let me know. So I'd be happy to do that. But um, I know what to look out for in jazz, classical, blues, soft rock, hard rock, and all that sort of stuff. So that's why I use them for reviews because they are familiar to me. So I always go to those, except for the one tune which is Mola Mere Mola, which of course is a beautiful track, and I know it from many years ago. So I do use that as a reference as well. Kunal, best TWS under 2000. Honestly, I've not heard very many things under 2000. I can't really point you in any direction there, Kunal. I'm so sorry. Ramesh, I tried Tangzu Warner and started getting ear pain. Later, I realized it's because of the nozzle size. Ah, yeah, yeah. I think the Warner does have a thicker nozzle. The JD one also is quite thick that way. Um, Comfortable IMs is difficult. Ramesh has a point. I agree with you there. A lot of people don't. In fact, I never tried IEMs because I always found them uncomfortable. I only do IEMs now because I do reviews and a lot of guys want to know my take on it. But I still prefer headphones for comfort. Dakshan, no, no, we're stretching out the stream, man. Dakshan saying stream ends in 1 minute. I presume you said it at 44 minutes. I listen to a lot of pop songs. What's best? Flat or warm sound? You don't like V shape? So, Revant, warm sound, to make it very simple, you have bright sound and you have warm sound. I'm just giving you the very basics of it. Bright is when it's very accentuated in the high frequency. So a lot of companies make IEMs and earphones and headphones bright because the high frequencies are elevated. It gives you the illusion of better detail. And at the same time, what a lot of people will face is because of that elevation is ear fatigue, ear pain. You can't listen to it for more than 45 minutes. So the opposite of bright is maybe is warm because it's a little tuned down, it's a little more mellow. So high frequencies aren't as aggressive, they're a little more rounded around the edges and the high frequencies, so it makes it easier on the ear. That is warm sound. So if you look at flat sound, look at a studio tuning. Most of the If you look at the EQ, the graph of an EQ is it's flat from the highest to mids and there's a dip in the low frequency. That is a flat response, not completely flat, but if it's completely flat, it can tend to sound very boring to some people. So all you'll see all these dips and peaks in most tunings for most gear. So I'd say if you are high frequency sensitive, don't listen to something bright or don't buy bright. Buy warm sounding, and the blonde is warm sounding. I think you will like it. Damn, I got a whole lot of comments while I was saying that. Oh God, where was I? Ah, Dakshin, try rolling the ear tips. Yeah, rolling ear tips is always a good idea. For comfort as well as sound. Even if sounds IM with small tip size, it's fine. Okay, probably Chew 2. Yeah, Chew 2 had very soft ear tips. They were like a medical grade soft tip. Those were quite good. They small, but no guarantee. People are different. Kunal, best earphone for gaming. You're talking about wireless ones or wired ones? Cherry, and I find some modern music, especially Tamil music, very poorly mixed on technical listening. It's like they mastered the song for crappy. Yeah, I suppose so. I've not heard much Tamil music, so I can't comment on that, Cherry. Thanks, Warner. Same 6 HG is very famous in studio DJ monitoring. Yes, I've seen it. I've not used it. That's why I've seen it with the DJ. In fact, I think. Mac Boy, hi. Is KZ Caster better than best IM under 2K? I don't know. I have not tested it. I don't want to give you wrong information. Dakshan, if you use the KZ Caster, please help out Mac Boy. It's probably just a nozzle. Hitchhiker, smallest IMs. I don't know. I really don't know what the smallest IM is. Shorts India, tell you about the Sound ID app by SonaWorks. I've not used it. This is the first time I'm hearing about it. Honestly, I'll try and check it out after this live stream. Vishnu, Toto is an artist I started listening to after seeing your videos. Paul, real beautiful songs. 99, yes. Very nice music, Toto. Vishnu, if you like Toto, check out Steely Dan, man. In fact, I've mentioned Steely Dan very briefly in my reviews, but Steely Dan has got such beautifully mixed tracks. In fact, they'd sometimes do up to 200 takes in the studio until they got the sound they wanted, and then they'd spend upwards of sometimes 200 and 400 hours mixing and mastering that music. So if you really want to listen to a good mix, listen to some of Steely Dan's songs. Superb stuff by Steely Dan. Yeah, yeah, I know AR Rahman. Everyone is quite taken with. I need to listen to his music more intently. In fact, going forward, choose the smallest. Do you think PAW S1 is great pair with HD? Hi, Alan. PAW S1. What is the PAW S1, man? I'm being totally honest here. I don't know what the PAW S1 is. From Concept Cart. I have not tested this. I have not tested this, Alan. But HD 599 SE at 50 ohms, it should be. It should. Most of these small DACs can handle up to 80 ohms without a problem. But honestly, any headphones, I'd say get a portable amp or a desktop amp if you really want proper power. You should use this, Marathi song best for double checking. Orchestra recording. Okay, Kunal, I'll let me just screenshot this and check this recording out. Why are Marshall products so expensive? I think you'll have to ask Marshall that. But from what I understand with Marshall, man, they're a brand. They've been in the industry for so long. They've been associated with some of the best artists in the world because they've been making, monitors and guitar amps for years. I mean, they date back to decades, and they've done the whole tube amp stuff for guitars and everything. And they're kind of building their brand on the same thing. Because if you see any of their speaker lineup, all of it is based on that same old design, the knobs, the toggle switches, all that sort of stuff. So it's a bunch of marketing and so on. I mean, they sound okay to me. They're not audiophile grade stuff, but they sound nice. They're fun, good enough for a speaker if you don't want to have a stereo setup or whatever. You have a Bluetooth speaker in the corner of your room. It's pretty good. But there are other companies. In fact, JBL has just launched a new speaker which looks very promising. I do want to get my hands on it. I'll speak to them and see if I can get a review unit for the JBL one. And I think Bose has launched one as well. But yeah, I mean, we'll marshal charges because they can. Best TWS under 6,000. See if you can get your check out my review on the Hitchhiker. Check out my review on the Earphone Air Pro 3. If you like bigness in sound, big bass, and detail at the same time. Otherwise, one that's a good all rounder is the Realme Buds Air 5 Pro. I'm talking about the ones that I've tested. I do prefer the Oppo Enco Air 3 Pro because it is finer in its detail, it's softer in its overall delivery, it's not as aggressive in loudness and in bass. Oppo does tune their stuff more tastefully than other brands. So check out the Earphone Air Pro 3 and Oppo Enco Air 3 Pro. I do have a comparison between those two. But if sound is your absolute priority, I would still strongly recommend the Yamaha TWE3B. If you have the budget for E7B, just go for it blindly. Very nice sounding. I hope that helps you, Hitchhiker. Tanmay, you need a list for Indian songs made for audio files. I think Dakshan can help you there. Kunal, you're asking me where I live and what I do for a living. Dude, I've just seen Baby Reindeer. I'm not answering a question like that. Tanmay, I don't think there are any songs on audio files. Cherry. Eva in a song from 2010 movie. Good equipment is so good, especially classical percussion. Okay, I'll check it out. Let me take a screenshot of this recommendation. Spamming Hitchhiker for under 6K, I would suggest looking at my Oppo Enco A3 Pro, Realme A5, OnePlus Buds 3. Yeah, spam me the comparison that's sorry, Hitchhiker, the comparison that spam me is telling you about. I do have. I've got a comparison for sound and call quality, all that sort of stuff. If you're into that, you can check it out. Kunal, final series IEMs. I've only checked out the final E1000, I think, and I've checked out the very high-end headphones. They were quite nice at a headphone event, Connect event. PS, I would not recommend YouTube Music with IEMs. It is terrifically compressed. I will definitely not recommend it. You're better off with Apple Music. Wildlife. What is the best IEM within 2K? This will be my first IEM. I've just done a review on the JD one, the FIO JD one. Check that out if you'd like to. It is a little bit bright for me with some peaks in that area, but otherwise it's a nice sounding IEM. I do sort of tune some of the high frequencies down when I use the EQ, and they do sound quite nice. They're very well detailed, in fact, the JD ones. You can check those out. Check out my review on the JD one. Suraj, you want TWS with good sound quality, dual pairing, good call quality, and you use Realme Air 3. Um, Suraj, just check out my review on the Realme Buds Air 5 Pro. Check out my comparison of the Realme Buds Air 5 Pro versus the Oppo Enco Air 3 Pro and the OnePlus Buds 3. The Realme Buds Air 5 Pro is a very good all-rounder. And since you're coming from the Realme Air 3, it'll be a good upgrade. It's a very good evolution over the Realme Buds Air 3. Were they Pro? No, they were just Realme Buds Air 3. Check out my reviews on the Buds Air 5 Pro. Spammy, I have not checked out the tone TF7, TF8. I've done the FP5, and honestly, out of the box, it's very boring sounding. But once you flip that meridian tuning on, it changes completely. No problem, Vishnu. Check these. Steely Dan, Aretha Franklin. In fact, Aretha Franklin did a duet with Tony Bennett. Hey, 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 hey. There's an ad coming up. I'm skipping this. Aretha Franklin did a duet with Tony Bennett. Check out that recording. Tony, in fact, made an album for one of his birthdays, and it's a beautiful album, really beautiful album. Sung with Lady Gaga as well. That's why the Lady is a Tramp is a beautiful track, well mixed, well recorded, a lot of emotion in it. Listen to that as well. My Dakshan, no, my wife's not knocking at the door, so it's fine. Oh, we hit one hour. Oh God. Okay, guys, I think we'll do another 15 minutes. Okay, not more than 15 minutes, or I'll try and finish up all your questions and sign off because I need to figure out how to control how long these go for. Plus buds okay. Hitchhiker, you're asking me if I'm aware of Clinical? Yeah, I know about him. Uh, I don't always side with his opinions in the sense he's very measurement basis. I don't like looking at measurements. I like going by feel. I'll If I like something how it sounds and I like how it makes me feel, that's all that's important. What's on paper doesn't impress me because I've seen many things that are terrifically accentuated in the treble, but then when you listen to it, it's not really. It has a very different approach. Uh, I don't go by measurements. I don't like that. Wildlife, you're most welcome. PS is Truth or Clinical Red the best around 5K or any other? I haven't tested it. I can't comment on it. Sorry. Maybe Dakshan can help you with that one. Uh, Debsena, I hope I'm not butchering your name. You've damaged your nozzle filters on the CCA Plana 13. Damn. While cleaning it, any suggestions? uh, if it's just the meshing that's dented, it should be okay. You shouldn't have a problem. uh, don't If it's open, if it's wide open, you might need to figure out something. But uh, I don't know, maybe contact the guys you bought it from, see if they can repair it or whatever. If it's slightly dented, don't worry about it. It's not going to change anything. Good night, Mr. Rock. Anytime, man. Nice. Thanks for joining. Tangzu filters because they had balance on a new sub. I thought you were a subscriber. Usually, only my subscribers come, but cool. Thanks for your support. Hi, Sunny. Hey, man, how you doing? I'm new here. Welcome to my live. And I'm doing fine. How are you? Welcome to the madness. Do I have a public playlist? Man, I'm working on it. We're in June now, and at the end of June is kind of like, well, it's my birthday is in the end of June, so I'm planning on launching a whole bunch of things. I'll most likely also try and launch this playlist. I've been promising it to people for a long time, so I'll try and keep that as a launch as well. Prakash, you want good buds for around 5K? Are you talking about IEMs or wireless earphones? Lionel, are neckbands better investment in terms of longevity? Yes, Lionel, that's a very good question. And yes, you are right because neckband always has a larger cell than the small cells in wireless earphones. So a larger battery will deplete, not just deplete, but degrade slower than smaller cells. So with wireless earphones, expect a lifespan of a year to 2.5 years tops. Some earphones can do 3 years, but it's very rare. Neck bands, on the other hand, will definitely give you the 1.5 or 2 years because it is a larger cell. So that's something to consider. Where was I? Yeah, okay, Dakshan measures the same field. Yeah. Yes, Dakshan, measurements that are the same can feel different. Yes, that's what I'm saying. I don't like measurements because of that. I don't go by measurements because of that. But yeah, it is better for a larger audience to understand. You're right. Have I heard Odyssey LCD too? I have heard them at a headphone event, but it was so long ago. It wasn't at the latest one. It was so long ago that I've forgotten whatever notes or opinion I had on it. Suraj, you have the Ra MA390. Let me see what that is. Ra, what was that? MA390. Okay, I've not tested these, but if you like V-shaped sound, the two DACs that I've compared back to back in a very interesting video is the iFi Go Link with the DT Hi-Fi high-res DAC, and they do have the little bits of coloration here and there, but I do prefer the iFi. All in all, it is I think a little fuller in the sub bass more than the DT Hi-Fi. But check that review out. These the iFi Go Link versus the DT Hi-Fi high-res DAC. They're both nice, but depending on your flavor, you can choose which one you like. Yeah, yeah, you'll have to contact the seller, Dibsena. I hope they figure it out, man, because obviously I've heard good things about that set of IEMs, and the fact that you're upset about it means they mean a lot to you. So I really hope you get to fix them, man. Uh, Good sound and looking after your equipment is everything. So all the best to you. Hi, Hitchhiker. I sometimes watch tennis, but not. Talk about being an off-topic question. No, no, I'm not watching it right now. If you're wondering why I'm looking left and right, is because I'm looking at the questions and checking to see if my screen is okay. So hosting it live streams help us a lot. For sound. Hey, that's nice to know, Kunal. I'm happy to help with anything sound really. Balance sound, Yamaha. If you don't care any fancy features like that, okay. Dakshan, I made some cotton balls and stuff in my neck. Is DAC with amp better than normal DAC? I mean, is there too much of a difference? Fallen Chaitu Gaming. Uh, a DAC and an amp are two separate components. So even if you buy a portable DAC amp, there's a separate DAC chip that converts your ones and zeros to the analog signal, and the amp chip is what boosts that analog signal. So one thing I found over time is, there are a lot of affordable things that work, but getting a clean sound when current is looked after well and it's a pure, clean sort of energetic sound, it comes through a lot more powerful and a lot more vibrant and so much cleaner. So having a separate DAC and amp is always beneficial. So even on my desktop, I've got a separate DAC and a separate amp. I don't have one integrated system. So if ever you're talking about desktop setups or stereo setups, in fact, I have a 2.0 setup. I don't have any sub. I don't like having a separate sub. Um, I do have a separate DAC and a separate amp for that setup. So uh, I just feel it's a cleaner, purer form of listening to your music. So uh, that's a cool question. When you do have a combined setup, it's usually not as well defined, but uh, it's not as expensive also. So budget is obviously a huge constraint for a lot of people. Uh, Lame Lama, hi. Can Yamaha TWE3B play 24-bit? If it can, how do I turn it on? And what difference does play 24-bit make? I don't think it does 24. I think it can do 44 116 when it's on aptX. So you'll have to keep it on the aptX codec to get the most benefit from it. So if you're using an Android, you'll have to go into your developer options and switch on aptX. By default, I think it's on AAC. So just go onto aptX and you'll enjoy it that much more. I always listen to it on aptX. E3B on aptX is absolutely sensational. Best IM under 2 to 3K, they're all different flavors, honestly. Byte. unbox. You just have to figure out what your flavor is, what you like, and you go for it. So I've got a whole bunch of reviews on IEMs. You can check them out in my audiophile playlist. The latest one being the JD one, Fear JD1. Check out my review if you haven't already. Lionel, thanks for enjoying wider genres than the conventional Indian audio review. That's nice to know, Lionel. It's nice having you here as well, a fellow music and audio enthusiast. It's nice to have you guys. I really like doing this, which is why I want to do this more often. Which is why I'm literally here 1 week later. Have I tried the SimGot EA500 LM? No, I have not. It is, in fact, en route. SimGot is sending me a demo unit, so I will be reviewing that this month. Suraj, you want a DAC with mic and headphone control? I tried the DD Hi-Fi with the JD1, and it has the pass-through for the mic and the controls work as well. Sunny, I don't know if it's the right time to ask, but can you recommend me some IEMs under 5K? Sound profile matters a lot to me. No V-shaped profile. I prefer more balanced, neutral profile. Sunny, I honestly, very honestly, haven't tested many IEMs in this price range. I'm still expanding my folio of reviews. I've done more 2000 stuff, but check out my review on the SimGot EW200. Um, I just fell in love with the way it sounded. It's not V-shaped, but it's beautiful sounding, and it's the one set of IEMs that pointed me towards different songs to listen to. Usually, I just have a list of, okay, I'll listen to this, and this. Whereas those told me, no, you listen to this track and listen to that track and go to that track. So check out my review, Sunny, on the EW200. It's a very nice sounding set of IEMs, and I think it's sub 5K. It's just over 4K now. Affiliate link in the description if you want to buy it also. And I paired it with the Wi-Fi Go link, if I'm not mistaken. So check that out. Vishnu, my angle on DT990 Pro and Wi-Fi Go link. You want to you want to plug the DT990 Pro into the Wi-Fi Go link? Vishnu, what impedance are you talking about with the 990 Pro? Fallen, you have the EA500 LM. Okay, nice. Um, Again, I've not done much tip rolling or cable rolling. Try calling the guys from Headphone Zone. I'm sure they'll be able to guide you. I have tried different cables with some IEMs at headphone connect events, and I was surprised to see the amount of a difference it can make. So it's worthwhile calling the guys from Headphone Zone. They will be able to guide you better than I can. So all the best with that, and I hope the sound you get the sound you're looking for. Byte Unbox best IMs under 2 to 3K. Again, they've all got their own flavors, really. Um, but the latest one I've tested is JD1, Fear JD1. Nice set, very well detailed. And Hi, what's news? Yeah, hi, how are you, man? Nice to see you. But That's what I've tested so far, the JD one. But Check out my reviews. I'd say a lot of the 2K stuff that's available there, it's a lot of them are very similar. They are very well detailed, but they've got their own flavors. So it's just a matter of what taste you have, what you want to go for, honestly. Guys, you can say hi to what's new. If you don't know him, he's a fellow audio enthusiast. He's got his own YouTube channel. And if you ever get bored of my reviews being too long and you want short, concise reviews, you go to What's New. If you don't have 25 minutes or 20 minutes and you just want a 7 minute review, you go to him. He's got some superb reviews. I really look. I hope one day I can be as crisp and as tight as he is with his deliveries. 2x. Hey, Dakshan, you're off. Thanks, man. Thanks for all your support. In fact, it's almost an hour and 15. I better try and wrap this up. I think I've covered most questions. OpenGZ Pro pairing with PC, LDAC not supporting. I tried alternate A to DP. Oh, it looks like the electricity is back. Hang on, guys. I think it's overexposed. I've been having a lot of electricity problems lately. Yeah, that should do it. I'm not sure Byte Unbox if it can work with a PC. Honestly, man, I've not used a Windows system. I think the last one I used was in 97. So I won't be able to guide you with how to set up the PC there. Lionel, that's an awesome question. Who are some of my favorite music artists? Man, I've got too many to list out, I think. I've mentioned a few today. I've mentioned Aretha Franklin, Tony Bennett, a lot of the yesteryears guys, Rat Pack, Sinatra. I grew up listening to a lot of that music, so I like a lot of that. But more recent stuff, Steely Dan, Toto, um, Adele, I quite like because she's 100% emotional. She doesn't do the whole comping. She just invests herself into a performance. So I do like her because she's old school the way she performs. Man, it's a lot. There are a lot of artists. My mood usually takes me to different kinds of music and artists. Seven with Sonos is quite hyped. Yeah, I've not tested that, man. In fact, I want to dedicate a month or two to just audiophile stuff. I'm getting a bit bored of the wireless stuff. Oh, that's cool. Fallen Gaming. That's pretty cool that we've got common subs. My AKG Type C support up to 96 was capped at 48. Nothing for Samsung Flash Machine. I'm not too sure, Surya, about the phone specifications, man. I'm not a. I tell very. I'm pretty shameless about this. I'm not this thing weird about telling people that I'm not a tech influencer. I'm not a tech guy. I have. I'm not a tech guy. I'm more of a sound guy. So you'll have to find somebody who can break that down to you for the phone. What's new? Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Audiophile stuff is not boring to me just yet. I enjoy it a lot because to me, more the audiophile stuff has more, so much more character than TWS. Because man, some of the stuff I've been doing lately, like for example, the Oppo Enco A3 Pro versus the Realme Buds F5 Pro versus the OnePlus Buds 3, all BBK stuff. They've got very subtle differences. So it's almost the same product you're reviewing. So I mean, I do my reviews to help people, but it's sort of. It just becomes too much after a while. So I'm planning on doing a whole lot more audiophile stuff going forward. And in fact, if you can see this here, this is one of the things I'm going to be talking about this month. It's a little sort of view meter come splitter. So it's just arrived today, in fact. So I'll be talking about this in one of my reviews this month. So this is the kind of stuff I want to do. I want to do maybe home audio reviews. Uh, I want to stick to audio, man. Like I'm into cameras and everything, being a photographer and videographer, but um, like the fun is for me. It's here. It's with audio. Fallen, you're saying you've upgraded to SimGod EA 500 LM from 7 hertz. I think what's new didn't like the 500 LM. Correct me if I'm wrong. What's my view on Truthia X Clinical Zero? I haven't tested it. ZS cannot comment. Cool. So I think I've covered. I'm finally at the bottom part of all the comments, which is faster than we did in the last live. So the last live was an hour and 41 minutes. So I think when an hour and 20 is not bad. Okay, Fallen. So you like the 500 LM, the EA, the new ones? Because I might be getting a set soon for review. I think it's on its way. So I'm keen to see what I'll think of it. Dipesh, I think most people here are using Apple Music for high-res streaming. Dakshan. Yeah, yeah, I've overcome my internal lag. ZS, what do I suggest? Cheap, good quality portable DAC? I suppose you're asking. Uh, Man, I don't know if you'd consider it cheap, but the DT Hi-Fi high-res DAC is pretty good. I mean, it has microphone pass-through also, which is superb. Check out my review on that if you haven't already. Cool, guys. So I think I've answered all of your questions. I think it's safe to sign off now at 1 minute 21. And maybe we'll do this. Also, guys, let me know one thing. Maybe leave a comment in my some of my videos or leave on my latest community post. I want to know with you guys, would you guys prefer this Monday evening live, or are you guys more comfortable on a Friday evening doing a live, or even over the weekend, and maybe a time slot as well? So maybe let me know on my latest community post what you guys are comfortable with, because I mean, the whole point is so that you guys can be there and we can chat. So let me know about that over there. Twanishk, it will be uploaded. As soon as I end it, it will be uploaded. Dakshan, yes, end of the month, there are going to be some announcements. So I see you, man. I see you. Portable DAC amp for powering Hi-Fi Man Sandara. The only thing I'd recommend for headphones is something powerful but portable is difficult. I haven't tested the Shandling H series, but they've got these very neat little sort of portable DAC amps, and you can even put a memory card inside it and listen to music from the memory card. So check those out. I think they call the H3, H5, and H7. I could be wrong, but check those out. Um, Truth Here Gate has been discussed, but I haven't listened to it just yet. I'll try and get my hands on it. JD1 is good. Check out my review on it if you haven't already. I like it, except for some peaks in the highs. But yeah, my review should give you a better answer. And moving on to Nitesh. Streaming on Apple Music, it sounds good on my Android phone, but once connected to my Windows laptop, the vocals sound shouty. It shouldn't do that. It shouldn't change the overall tonality, man, because your DAC should be bypassing the internal hardware of your computer. So that's a bit odd. Uh, because I've done some A/B testing with these DACs in my computer. I do have a Mac, and I've plugged into the USB-C in the Mac, and then into my Android, and then into the Mac. I've done a lot of A/B testing for that comparison in particular, the Hi-Fi Go Link versus the DD Hi-Fi, yeah, high-res DAC, and I didn't see any color changes between my phone and my computer. So it's weird that you're experiencing that. Yes, Fallen Gaming. The Hi-Fi Go Link is one of my favorites. I love the way it's made, but the one thing to keep in mind, check out that review I mentioned, the comparison between the Hi-Fi Go Link and the DD Hi-Res. The only thing you have to worry about is this cable, because if you're holding the cable, or if the cable is getting pulled or it gets stuck, this section does not seem as robust as the DD Hi-Fi. They do have their slight differences in color, but the DD Hi-Fi is built solid. That cable is not going to give way anytime soon. The only thing with this Hi-Fi Go Link is this cable, so I'm very careful with it. As you can see, I even store it very carefully in this little pouch. But I love the way it sounds. I prefer it over the DD Hi-Fi. Dakshan, Gate has more treble, unlike Hola. Aditya, yes, I do. Tangzu Warner Next Gaming, yes, it's one of my favorites. Beautifully detailed, but I wouldn't recommend it if you want heavy bass. It's great for classical music, lighter stuff. Superb separation for a set of IMs that cost as much as it does. Sunny's got an interesting thing. Nitish, you might have some Dolby or other sound enhancement app might be active. Check if that's the case. They might have different profiles for music, speech, etc. Usually keep it off. That's a good one. That makes sense. I use an iPhone, but if I buy DD Hi-Fi, I need to get Lightning adapter separately. Yes, because if your iPhone is Lightning, you will need that adapter. That is correct. In fact, my wife is pairing her the one I got for review. I've given it to her. It's got I've got a Lightning adapter which does work with it. She's not had any issues. It does work fine, but of course, there's no mic pass through with iPhones. That's one thing to remember. Arpit, you bought a JBL Tune 770 audio is very low at 20 to 30%. What can I do to increase it, or should I return it for listen? No, no, Arpit, I think a lot of people are misunderstanding what's happening. Uh, in fact, you can check out my review. I've done a comparison between the live and the tune. They've made the volume so it's not linear. For some reason, all the way up to 50% on the JBL tune and live 770 NC, it's not a linear increase in volume. It's sort of very gradual up to 50, and then suddenly it spikes at about 55-60%. There's a sudden boost in volume. So this is how it's been tuned. It's intentionally made like that. At least the units that I've reviewed, the units that I've spent time with, do exactly what you are talking about. They're not too loud at 20 and 30% volume. I do listen to them at maybe 30-35%, maybe a little more, but it's not a problem. That's how it's made. Irritating when the vocals are shouty. Yes, any Windows to tune. Oh, with all the audio enhancements off. I don't know. That's very strange. I don't know Windows enough if there's another issue. Gate and all have similar graph, but the thing I understand everything on paper, but I haven't experienced anything as yet since I'm in first new. Okay. I haven't gotten the gate yet, Twanish. If I get it, I can do a small comparison with the Ola, but I haven't got it yet. Yeah, yeah, you can do that, Fallen Gaming. Or you can just type it in on Headphone Zone. They've got the adapter. It's Lightning to USB-C adapter. You can check it out on the Headphone Zone website. Tonish, damn good. You're going to Headphone Zone for a meeting. Great. Best thing you can do. You learn a lot over there. Cool, guys. We are approaching 1 hour 40 minutes again. So I think I'd better say bye because I have managed to answer a lot of questions. And I think doing the surprise live where I did a last minute informing you guys was better because, um, well, I'm not handling 30 people at one shot. So it's cool. Abhishek. Man, no, no, no. I think we're fine here. Uh, we'll catch up though. Also, guys, if you want What's New and me to do some sort of collaboration, please leave comments on his videos also. We should do some sort of podcast thing. I'm sure it'll be fun. What's new? What do you think about that? We should do something, man. But anyway, thanks guys again for being here. It's been fun as usual. I'm going to try and do this more regularly. Maybe on in the weekends. Let me know the latest community post if you guys want to do this on weekends and at what time, or the weekdays. Fine, we'll figure it out because it's fun helping each other. Let's try and do this more often. Good night, Foreign Gaming. Thanks so much. Night, Tanishk. Say hi to the guys from Headphone Zone from me. They're all sweet, all very sweet people. You can learn a lot from them. Yes, family. I have stayed a little too long. Cool, cool. Good night, guys. See you. All the best, and enjoy your music and all your audio equipment. See you guys. Bye. Good night.